is turning to the roads because, as I said at the start, it's my last day of work tomorrow, today, which means tomorrow I'm climbing into a car and setting off on a road trip. And I know a number of other people will be doing the same. So we thought we should just take a few moments to remind ourselves about some of the basic car safety checks we should be doing before getting on the road. On the line to chat to us is motoring journalist Juliet Maguire of womenonwheels.co.za. Lovely to chat to you again, Juliet.
Hi there. Hi, nice to chat to you.
Now, we're all very quick to hop into the car, fill up with petrol and hit the road, but there are a couple of essential safety checks we should be doing before we get behind the wheel. Can you just run us through what are the most important things we should be taking cognizance of?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things, I know one of the hugest safety hazards on the road are people's tyres. They don't tend to check them too often. And tyre tread and tyre pressure. So I think that's probably one of the first things to do. You know, and I think what people also need to do is make sure that they do these checks not the day before they leave on a road trip, but with enough time in order for you to change the tyres if need be. And something like tyre tread, you know, the South African legal tread limit is 1 millimetre. So people need to check that if you look at the treadwear indicator bars, they're molded into the tread. If these bars are flush with the adjacent tread ribs, it's an indication that the tyres need replacing. So I think, you know, people don't realize the danger of a smooth tyre. It can obviously cause a blowout and etc. And then, of course, the correct pressure. And this is usually indicated by a sticker on the inside of a driver's door or your manufacturer's manual.
Okay.
You can check that. And I think also, not everyone has this, but if your tyres are filled with nitrogen instead of air, it's a good idea to have a top-up, as not all fuel stations have nitrogen pumps so on your route. And then I think things like the vitals of your engine, like engine oil, brake fluid, your coolant and everything, you can get a petrol attendant to help you with this if you're not sure. But it's to just check all those levels and make sure before you head out that even things like your radiator and windscreen washer bottles, you know, have enough, will have sufficient water. And then with the windscreen, and I think it was another, I know it sounds like almost the last on the checklist, but windscreen wipers, because you never quite know when you might hit some rain, and if you can't see, you know, then...
Major safety hazard.
Exactly. So I think that's a big one. Also, indicators and headlights. I mean, you might need a family member or someone to help you, but this is so important because you might think they're working, you know, and then you pose such a safety risk to other drivers if your indicators aren't working, or your headlights, which, you know, I'm sure the VDSA initiative is to actually have your headlights on when you're driving.
Yeah.
And then, of course, things like brakes, suspension, steering, shock absorbers, and CB joints, all these kinds of things. If you can, you know, plan that your service happens just before you're going on road trip, that's ideal. If not, it's not a bad idea to almost go and have a professional check these out, you know, sometime before your road trip. It can be a month before even. But just to make sure that those kind of vital things are checked. I think an emergency equipment set, a lot of people might not have these in their cars, but it's not a bad idea to have things like a first aid kit, even a fire extinguisher, your emergency triangle. That's quite a big one. And the spare tyre, people never check the air on that one.
Yes.
And then you find yourself in the middle of nowhere having to change the tyre and you can't because your tyre's flat or it's damaged.
Yeah. Very good advice. Julia, I must ask, last time I had to change a spare tyre, we had one of those little mini tyres that say they can only go up to 80 kilometers an hour. How long can you safely drive on those?
Well, those are the Mari biscuit, I think we used to call them. I think you can go, if I'm not mistaken, it's about 150 Ks. You can still drive in at 150 to 200 Ks. I don't think it's recommended to go as far as possible, but, you know, so as soon as you can. But if I'm not mistaken, it's 150 Ks. And then obviously at 80 Ks per hour, I wouldn't go faster than that.
Okay.
And the reason as well is because the further you drive, obviously the tread on your other tyres then gets worn, and sometimes that's actually an indication of wheel alignment.
Yes.
But actually with the wheel, then it causes some trouble with your tyres, and your tyres will they tread unevenly.
Okay. Some excellent advice there, Juliet. Thank you so much, and wishing you safe travels this festive season.
Thank you. Yes, I'm also up on a road trip. I'm very excited.
We'll enjoy every minute of it. Thanks so much for making time for us today. Juliet Maguire, motoring journalist with Women on Wheels. You've heard some it might sound like obvious advice, but how often do you check things like the coolant and the windscreen wiper fluid? I can't remember the last time I did. So thank you for the reminder, Juliet, and wishing you safe travels.
As you arrive in Port Albert and pick up your fish and chips, a light evening breeze begins to blow. You make your way to a viewpoint that offers a clear sight of Wilson's Promontory across the mangroves. The cool air carries a scent of the sea and the greenery around you. As you settle in, watching the distant promontory, and you enjoy your meal, the gentle rustling of the mangroves and the distant call of the seabirds create a soothing soundtrack, bringing your day to a peaceful and satisfying close. There you go, guys. A nice little drive from Yarram through Alberton and Langsbrough to Port Albert. A beautiful little place, very quiet, Port Albert. Very beautiful, very good, guys. Hey, guys, chuck us a sub or a like. I'm up to 900 something subscribers. If I get to 1,000, it's a benchmark's personal best. Cheers, guys.